People need to understand time is running out. There was only a 2-year window given, and that 2 years runs out August 2024. So if you don't put in an administrative claim now, right up until 9th of August, you're never going to be able to sue the government again.
A Camp Lejeune widow's desperate plea to others like her to file for compensation for exposure to the toxic water before time runs out. For more than 50 years, Marines and civilians living and working on the Camp Lejeune Marine Corps base in North Carolina were exposed to toxic water, leaving many of them decades later battling cancer and other illnesses and dying.
And News 6 has reported extensively on this toxic water issue at Camp Lejeune and the difficulty many veterans and their families have had with filing for benefits that they were entitled to because of exposure. Now there's a way for many veterans and loved ones to fight back, but the problem is many are not aware of it.
So Trooper Steve is examining the issue in this week's Serving Those Who Served and introducing us to the widows who are trying to get results for themselves and for so many others.
As many as 1 million people who lived and worked in North Carolina's Marine Corps base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water between 1953 and 1987. Now, that water was contaminated with several chemicals, all determined later to cause serious diseases, including cancer. After years of downplaying or denying the effect that contaminated water had on those who drank, bathed, cooked, and lived with it, the government has conceded a presumptive service connection for 8 different conditions, including adult leukemia, aplastic anemia, and other similar syndromes, also including bladder cancer, kidney cancer, liver cancer, multiple myeloma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and Parkinson's disease. Now, in order to get these benefits, you must have served on a base at least 30 days between August 1st, 1953 and December 31st, 1987. And you must not have been dishonorably discharged or been a reservist. Now, the problem is thousands of veterans have suffered difficult deaths as a result of conditions not on that list, and many of them at a very young age. But now, there's the possibility of relief. When the PACT Act was passed in 2022, it included the Camp Lejeune Justice Act. One of the problems that veterans were having with getting the benefits is that there's a statute of limitations to sue the government. But the latency period for most cancers is much longer, meaning by the time people were getting sick, that statute of limitation was already up. So the Camp Lejeune Justice Act allows veterans now and their spouses and even their children to file a claim with the Department of the Navy with a couple of different options on how to proceed. That's where these 7 men, all Marines who served their country, come in along with their widows. All of them suffered horrible deaths, their widows say, was a result of their service over at Camp Lejeune. And these women are hoping their compensation gets approved, especially the ones whose husbands didn't qualify for other benefits. Now, to help these women with their battles for help and compensation, Michelle James created a Facebook group called the Camp Lejeune Toxic Water Widows. They're able to share ideas, resources, and help other women through the process of getting dependency and indemnity compensation, or DIC, benefits from the VA, and even file these administrative claims right now. But besides the support, the biggest thing this group is doing is helping other widows and families to know they can still fight. We sat down with the widows to hear a little bit of their stories.
The liver cancer had spread to his bones, and his femur was about to snap in half. It was a big tumor, and it was in his hips, and it was all over him. And his battle till his death was horrific because he was so stubborn and so big. You know, he's a tall guy. He wasn't fat, but he was tall. And he fought me on everything. I'm talking, this man fought to the day he passed away. He did not want me to have to help him do anything. And that was the hardest part, I think, of his cancer, is watching his pride be sucked out of him and his dignity, because he was the proudest man I ever knew.
Somehow, some way, I believed in my heart that his cancers and illnesses were due to the water. Started doing more research, looking at the chemicals and looking at the scientific evidence that was out there. And I said to myself, I do believe this is because of this. So like I said, he had kidney disease. So the tumour in the rectum, neuroplastic disease, colon cancer, bladder cancer, the tumour removed from the bladder. Then he had neurological disease. So loads of question marks there.
He passed away, and of course they denied it. I refiled with the VA, and I haven't heard anything. It'll be a year in October, and I haven't heard anything on that other than they wanted some more paperwork. The VA just loves to tell me no. I mean, and I think they try to do that with a lot of people.
He was proud of our son. It's, you know, every Marine wanted a little boy like that. The thing that kills me is my husband would take him on base all the time, Camp Lejeune, to show him off to the other guys, and the guys in the barracks would take the mattresses down and they would have wrestling matches to make my son laugh. He was about 1.5 years to 2.5 there. I have to worry now about my son. But when you get a official document letter from the president saying that we know you were stationed there and your family, you worry. You don't know. You just hope and pray that your kids are going to outlive you. I hope to God they do.
There's other widows out there that doesn't know that. They don't know that they could file for DIC. They don't know that they can file to have their husband's cancers to be service related. They don't know there's a network of us out there going to do the same thing. And we don't know the answers either, but we can bounce questions or, you know, answers off of each other. But also I want to be his voice. He doesn't have his voice anymore. And there's times this is tough. You drag this stuff up every time. It's like ripping that scab off. Every time and I don't want to forget about him, but you got to I'm still living. I got to keep trying to move forward. But I can't stop because who's going to speak for him?
Just how great of a man we lost due to a senseless acts of our government. And, you know, looking back now, I can see a lot of other signs that I've hear people talk about. His teeth were bad. He had these unexplained rashes that he would have. And, you know, they would say sun poisoning and they'd give him cream and stuff to go on it. But I can see now that it was probably that related. However, I don't think it would have changed him. He was proud to be a Marine. That's, you know, he would have done it all over again.
Never give up. Never give up. This is real. And, you know, right now we're under time limitations. You know, you have to file, you know, before August of next year, because no one can tell your story better than you can. No one can advocate better than you can for yourself. And so we need to be advocates. You know, we need to, you know, put our best forward and get this done, you know, and honor the memory of our loved ones.
Now, Michelle James is trying to raise awareness and offer help through her Facebook group and her new nonprofit, Lejeune Empowered Advocacies for Widows. She committed to helping whoever she can, however she can, whether it be something as small as an encouraging note through tough times or helping navigate through the claims.
It's just like, what can I do to help these women more? So, like I said, I went off and done a course because I want to be the best person that I can be, and I want to be able to help them in the best way that I can. Whether that means I'm the signpost person that says, go to this person, that person, that person. But I would like to be that person that I can find services that can help them in whatever it is that they need to do. You know, I don't want them to be no longer stuck and confused and not knowing where to go. I want them to know that somebody's got their back and that they're going to go out of their way to try and help them in as best as they can. I think God definitely put me on this earth to serve.
The takeaway here is that if you or a loved one has suffered an illness due to exposure to the toxic water over at Camp Lejeune, file your administrative claims as soon as possible. Even if your veteran was other than honorably discharged, just go and do it. even if they were a reservist, even if they've been denied benefits from the VA. The legal system is not the same as the VA system, so it's possible you could receive some type of compensation. You can file yourself or get the help of an attorney that works on these type of cases. But whichever way you do go ahead and choose, you only have until August of next year to do so. So we have much more information on Camp Lejeune Justice Act, the Camp Lejeune Toxic Water Widows Group, and the stories of these amazing women on our website. Just head to clickorlando.com/veterans right now to find the stories.
Thank you so much, Steve. And while you're at clickorlando.com, you can sign up for our Serving Those Who've Served newsletter. It comes out on the first Friday of every month with inspiring stories from veterans, as well as information that veterans can use and need. You can also sign up at clickorlando.com/newsletters.